and Susan Walker.
Good evening.
Come on, Jam.
Sorry.
Stop, John, stop. Just keep them. For the news without the blues, it's the totally irrelevant news, brought to you tonight by Jim Bolton and Susan Walker. Come on, Jam.
Good evening.
For the news without the blues, it's the totally irrelevant news, brought to you tonight by Jim Bolton and Susan Walker.
Good evening. Keep going.
Sorry.
Good evening.
Good evening. The headlines this evening. On the international front, doctors were baffled in America as an epidemic is sweeping the country.
Politics. Parliament today decided it had had enough and extreme measures were taken.
Home news.
Stop, John, stop. For the news without the blues, it's the totally irrelevant news, brought to you tonight by Jim Bolton and Susan Walker.
Good evening.
Good evening. The headlines this evening. On the international front, doctors were baffled in America as an epidemic is sweeping the country.
Politics. Parliament today decided it had had enough and extreme measures were taken.
Home news. On the home front, plans have been put forward for the privatisation of Scotland.
On the medical front, doctors say alcohol is good, but drinking is bad.
Doctors were baffled today about an epidemic sweeping America. The Americans have always been known for their superior attitudes and excellent personalities. And it looks like all this is coming to an end. Mortalities, as the doctors have named it, is a disease which apparently attacks the ecosystem of the American people. Instead of their normal, abrasive, arrogant persona, the Americans are now reduced to shy, intolerant, normal people. A top neurological surgeon said that absolutely no money is going to be spent eradicating this disease.
In Parliament today, the time-wasting, meaningless debates and constant arguing finally took its toll. This final building, which is stood... This final building, which has stood this famous spot for centuries, pulled itself up from its strong foundations and threw itself into the murky waters of the Thames. Architects believe that this is the first time building has ever committed suicide. Buckingham Palace announced today that the royal family would take over the running of the country.
Home news. In process today at the European Parliament, short moves were made for privatisation of small non-productive nations. A trial project is to be tried in Scotland. Scotland is considered to be one of the least productive independent nations in the European Within national exports of only whisky and tartan, America is the front runner in the race for this picturesque country. Their plans are to fill the river Smith's having a street with you and come into the large sporting estate in the world.
Following shock reports by the British Medical Council saying that alcohol reduces the chance of cancer, but the physical effort of swallowing liquids causes cancer, drug giants ICI have brought out alcohol in capsule form. These revolutionary new capsules are encouraging people to stay at home and are causing a mass exodus away from public places and social clubs. As spokesman said, it is a disaster.
Special feature, and the sneezing. Another evening. This will be some laugh. Another evening special feature. Tonight we are looking at a group of special selfless young people who have been brought together to organise and manage an ambitious new project called Hamilton Youth Trust. The aim of the trust is to promote and finance youth initiative in Hamilton District since its launch in spring 1991. Hillary Clinton has been responsible for coordinating the project. I know, this is going to be hard. How successful has the project been, Hillary?
Very successful, Jim. How nice of you to ask me onto your programme to talk about it. It has been very successful from the point of view that His Royal Highness Prince Edward has consented to become an honorary member, thus giving it status. Local businessmen have been very kind in sponsoring us with cash and with goods, and most importantly, young people throughout Hamilton District have come together to exchange ideas and expertise.
How was the trust launched, Hillary?
The public launch of the Trust was at the Arts Factory, which was a major youth event in Hamilton in November, where Prince Edward came to visit us. It featured all the arts, music, drama, dance, art, visual arts, and Duke of Edinburgh's Award. It's with over 400 young people from Hamilton, from over 40 clubs.
Where do you go from here?
Well, the Trust is now a fully constituted charitable organisation with a board of trustees and a grants committee. And these committees are at the moment working out how to move forward in the future.
Thank you, Hillary.
And now to Robert for our entertainment news.
On Hollywood today, Sylvester Stallone's new film was launched, Rocky 26, The Pension Punch. What did our film critic think of it? Also in the news, rock star legend Cher, apparently invited to a fireworks display, stood too close to the fire. Rumour has it that Frank Sinatra, mobilised himself, now 148 years old, is lining up his 100th retirement concert. Reports are coming in that for the first time in his career, Sean Connery is playing a Scotsman in his new film. Back at home, Scotland's #1 rock band Runrig were supposed to be playing Glasgow's Barrowlands, but unfortunately the concert was cancelled for some strange reason unknown to the media. I half year a fan. What is your feelings and cancellation of the concert?
It's disappointing.
That's all from the news. Entertainment news, back to the news desk.
Weather looks like this. In Aberdeen, it's very cloudy with severe outbreaks and maximum temperatures of 20 degrees Celsius. In Dundee, it's very cloudy with rain. No, sorry.
Just do this.
It's bright in the morning, and in the afternoon the sun disappears and the rain comes in. And then hailstones. In Edinburgh, it's raining all day and it ends up just in Glasgow and Hamilton, there's high pressure, with maximum temperatures of 95 degrees and dropping at night to 94.5. Up in Fort William, there's a low pressure coming in from the Atlantic, and there's people getting blown all over the place for several months. And finally, up in Outer Hebrides, up here, well, that's the weather as well. Good night.
He's starting again, see him?
News within the blues is the totally irrelevant news brought to you tonight by Jim Bolton and Susan Walker.
Good night. Good evening.
Jim Bolton and Susan Walker.
Good evening.
Good evening. Headlines this evening. A minute. Oh, sorry. On the international front, doctors were battling America as an epidemic sweeping their country.
Politics. Parliament today decided that it had enough and extreme measures were taken.
Home news. On the home front, plans have been put forward for the privatisation for Scotland.
On the medical front, doctors say alcohol is good but drinking is bad.
Doctors were baffled today about an epidemic sweeping America. The Americans have always been known for their superior attitudes and excellent personalities, but it looks like all this has come to an end. Mortality. There we go again. Mortalises, as the doctors have named it, is a disease which apparently attacks the ecosystem of the American people. Instead of the normal and brazen, arrogant persona, the Americans are now reduced to shy and different normal people. A top neurological surgeon said that absolutely no money is going to be spent on eradicating this disease.
In Parliament today, the time-wasting, meaningless debates and constant arguing finally took its toll. This final building, which has stood in its famous spot for centuries, pulled itself up from its strong foundations and flung itself into the murky waters of the Thames. Architects believe that this is the first time a building has ever committed suicide. Buckingham Palace announced today that the royal family would take over the running of the country.
Home news. In Brussels today at the European Parliament, shock news was made for the privatisation of a small non-productive nation. A trial project is to be tried in Scotland. Scotland is considered to be one of the least productive independent nations in the European community, with the national export of only whisky and tartan. America is the front runner in the race to buy this picturesque country. Their plans are to fill the rivers with salmon and the streets with deer, and turn into the largest sporting estate in the world.
Following shock reports by the British Medical Council saying that alcohol reduces the chance of cancer, but the physical effort of swallowing liquids causes cancer, drug giants ICI have brought out alcohol in capsule form. These revolutionary new capsules are encouraging people to stay at home and are causing a mass exodus away from public houses and social clubs. A spokesman said, "It is a disaster."
And now this evening's special feature. Today we are looking at a group of special, selfless young people who are brought together to organise and manage an ambitious new project called the Hamilton Youth Trust. The aim of the trust is to promote and finance youth initiative in Hamilton District. Since its launch in spring '91, Hilary Glover has been responsible for coordinating the project. Hello Hilary.
Hello, Jim.
How successful has the project been?
It has been very successful so far, considering we've been going for such a short time. We have had a lot of sponsorship from businesses. His Royal Highness Prince Edward has accepted honorary membership of the Trust. And best of all, a group of young people from all over Hamilton District have come together, pooling their ideas and their experience.
How was the trust launched?
The public launch of the Trust was at the Arts Factory, a special youth event in Bell College in Hamilton in November. Invited guests, including His Royal Highness Prince Edward, saw displays and performances and music, drama, arts, and all sorts of things.
Where does it go from here?
Well, now that the Trust, the Hamilton Youth Trust, is a fully constituted organisation recognised by the Inland Revenue as a charity, the Board of Trustees and the Grants Committee are getting together to work out the best way of raising money and of distributing it to the young people of Hamilton.
Thank you, Helen.
Now we'll go over to Robert for the entertainment news.
Susan, once she says her spiel, stop it again.
Hi, in Hollywood tonight, Sylvester Stallone's new film is launched, Rocky 26, The Pension Punch. What did the film critic think of it? Also in the news, rock legend Cher, who was apparently invited to a fire display, stood too close to the fire and tragically, she melted. Rumour has it that Frank Sinatra, old Blue Eyes himself, now 148 years old, is lining up his 100th retirement concert.
No, never mind.
Reports are coming in that for the first time in his career, Sean Connery is going to play a Scotsman in his new film. Back at home now, and Scotland's #1 rock band Runrig were supposed to be playing at Glasgow's Barrowlands last night, but unfortunately the concert was cancelled for some strange reason, not yet released to the media. I have here a fan. What is your feelings on the cancellation of the concert?
It's disappointing.
That's all from the entertainment news. Back to the newsroom.
Now we'll go to John for the sports news.
And now for the sport. First of all, golf. In Spain today, the famous Spanish golfer San Miguel shot his caddy Juan. When being questioned by the police, he said, "I got a hole in Juan." A new record was set this week at Snooker's Crucible. The longest match in history, Terry Griffiths and Cliff Thorburn averaged 22 hours a frame, with one game lasting 2.5 days. This best-of-5 match ended in a draw, and the rematch is to be played next week. All other contestants in the tournament are going to Japan to play in the Japanese Open, except of course for Alex Higgins, who is fighting Mike Tyson at Wembley on Saturday. And finally, the football scores from around the country. Scottish Cup first round, Glasgow Rangers 0, Gala Ferrydean 8, Motherwell 12, Heart of Midlothian 11, East Fife 5, Forfar 4. Now back to Susan in the news.
Now we'll go to Tracy for the weather.
Good evening, and tonight's weather looks like this. In Aberdeen we have very cloudy with a lot of rain. Down to Dundee, a good start to the day, very bright, but in the afternoon the sun disappears. A lot of outbreaks of rain and eventually the hailstones come. Down to Edinburgh, and we have a very wet day with snow mid-afternoon. Over to Glasgow and there's a high pressure. Maximum temperatures of 95 degrees and a minimum of 74.5. And up to Fort Williams, and we have a low pressure zooming in from the Atlantic, whisking people off their feet due to the hurricane. And finally, up to the Outer Hebrides, and they have weather too. Now back to Susan.
Well,
That's all from us tonight. Good night.
good night.
Let's sit down, girls.
You're watching Scottish Television, where before tonight's film, check on the hide at 9 o'clock. That's a roundup of today's news and sport now from ITN. The news from ITN.
Good evening and welcome to the 10 o'clock edition of the News at 10. His Royal Highness the Prince Edward visits downtown Hamilton for a day in the Arts Factory. The latest Gallup poll shows that young people are getting worse. Beethoven struts his stuff at Strathclyde Park. And Gaza signs for Hamilton Academicals in a surprise move. Good evening and welcome to the 10 o'clock edition of the News at 10. His Royal Highness the Prince Edward visits downtown Hamilton for a day in the arts factory. The latest Gallup poll shows that young people are getting worse. Beethoven struts his stuff in Strathclyde Park. And Gaza signs for Hamilton Academicals in a surprise move. But firstly, we return to the story of His Royal Highness the Prince Edward, who visited Hamilton today to see what the young people get up to in their spare time. Our raving reporter, Dick Stacey, was on the scene.
Dick Stacey, special reporter for HYT Television, reporting to you from downtown Hamilton. The date, 16th of November. The scene, Bell College. Dick Stacey, special reporter, HYT Television, talking to you from downtown Hamilton. The date is 16th of November, Monday. Stop. Dick Stacey, special reporter, HYT Television, talking to you from downtown Hamilton. The date is 16th of November. The place, Bell College. Story. Once upon a time, there was a fairy prince in a far-off land of Hamilton, visiting an occasion known as the Arts Factory. Why, you ask yourself? I'll tell you why. Not only was it a chance to bring the youth of Hamilton district together, but it was also an attempt by the hit squad to encourage local businesses to support a trust fund. None as known as Hamilton Youth. Before I leave you, the hit squad give you this warning to all. Yeah, we just very calmly. Can you read this softer? Ignore it at your peril. For to ignore the youth is to ignore your future, as it is in their hands. But now back to Nick in the studio.
Yes, thanks. Thanks for that, Dick. A poll published today indicates that young people are not as innocent as they look. We asked Dick to go out once again and ask people on the street what they think.
And now, Miss Euphemia Tillworth, could you tell us your views on the youth of today?
Oh, that's better, son Wally. Give me some Jim. Yes, I most certainly will, young man. The young people that don't respect their elders. I remember the days when the only time you seen a child was when it came to your chimney after it had cleaned the lawn. Aye. Them were the days, you know, and I remember day, you know, going to the tool on the 99 tram, buying a 3-course meal, going to the matinee at the Pictors, and still get change for a sixpence. A sixpence, mind you!
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Tillworth. And how can you say that we can change the attitudes of the young?
There's only one way. Lots of cold porridge in the morning and a good cotton summit just like mine to keep them warm during the winter.
Wrong way. Let go.
What do you think about the young people's attitudes towards adults?
Well, young people today show a lot of respect for the adults, I think.
And what do you think about young people of the 90s?
Well, I think the young people of the 90s are very responsible these days. I mean, you don't see them hanging about the street corners with bottles of wine or the street parks, vandalising walls or buses. Not like it used to be, of course.
Yeah. In the course of your job, do you have any problems with young people that cause any worry to you? Oh, shit. Well, Chief Inspector Platt, what do you think about young people's attitudes to adults?
Well, young people today, I think they have a great respect for the adults.
Yeah, but what do you think about young people's attitudes in the 90s? Okay. Chief Inspector Platt, what do you think about what do you think about young people's attitudes to adults?
Well, young people today, I think, show a lot of respect for the adults.
Very good, but what do you think about young people in the 90s?
Well, I think that young people in the 90s are very responsible. You don't see them hanging about street corners anymore with their bottles of wine and vandalising buses. Things that used to do, of course.
Yeah, but in the course of your job, do you have any problems with them?
Oh no, I have no problems with young people today.
And now, Mr. Greenbeard, a teacher in a local comprehensive school, you will with youngsters. What are young people of today really like?
Well, hey man, they're just way out.
And what are the modern methods of teaching?
Well, I just ask the young adults what they want to do, and if they want to hang loose or smoke hash, well, that's far from me.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Greenbeard, Director of Education to Strathclyde. And now back to Nick in the studio.
Some late news. There has been an incident at the Arts Factory. We will try and bring you pictures later. However, our third headline for tonight, Ludwig van Beethoven shall be coming to Stonehouse in the spring to start off a new European tour which kicks off in the autumn. It will be his first concerts and playing to a sellout crowd in 1827, and big crowds are expected for his return. When Ludwig was asked why he had come out of retirement after so long, he replied, "Pardon." Beethoven, a genius in his time, had a string of chart toppers in the early 19th century and regularly played to audiences around Europe. He hopes to rekindle those memories by playing a rave in Strathclyde Park in the summer. And yes, I just hear we do have pictures of the Hamilton's Arts Factory.
2, 3. Dick Stacy, special reporter. The scene, the car park. The crime, murder. Once again, the hit squad has struck. Yet again, another victim has failed to support the youth of today. The only clue to their identity, the wicked Queen of Spades. Who was she? Why didn't she support the HYT? Who knows? All that remains is the scene of the crime. At the scene of the crime, that is the burning remains of a Moore cigarette in her hand. Back to Nick in the... Oh, God, I forgot a whole section. I'll need to cut that. Dick Stacy, special reporter. The scene, the car park. The crime, murder. Once again, the hit squad has struck. Yet again, another victim has failed to support the youth of today. The only clue to her identity, the wicked Queen of Spades. Who was she? Who? I don't know. Why didn't she support the HYT? Who knows? All that remains on the scene of the crime is the burning remains of a Moore cigarette in her hand. The only witness was a resident of the Cumnock. And can I ask you what you saw at the scene of the crime? Yes, well, Nick. Yeah. After translation, what's the word I'm looking for? After translated, it was said that the victim's last words were, "Ah, I'm melting! Ah!"
Yes, thanks for that, Nick. Thank you. That concludes our news for tonight, but before we go, we'll have a weather forecast. Over to you, Fionnuala.
No!
Stay there. Ready?
Yes, thanks for that, Nick. That concludes our news for tonight, with the exception of a recent news report that Gaza has appointed a new signing. Gaza has been appointed and taken up a transfer with Hamilton Academicals, who have recently been relegated to the 5th Division of the Premier League. Thank you, Gaza. And before that now, after that as well, we now go across to Vanilla with the weather. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the weather for you tonight. It will be raining in Fort Williams because it's always raining in Fort Williams. It will be snowing in the mountains because they need the snow for the skiing. It will be windy in Junction because Windy Miller needs it for his windmill. And there will be a big storm coming in from the west. Oh no, it's General Norman Swatchcore. There will be a big earthquake because Karen fell out of her bed last night.
Cut. Stand still. That was the news at 10. Good night from me.
And a good night from us!
You're watching Scottish television. Right before tonight's film, Jekyll and Hyde at 9 o'clock. That's a roundup of today's news.
Tonight. Good night from me.